In fairness, I joke. I gave up the Sonic Ghost for a while. Brock never gave up. I think probably I stopped caring about Sonic. Oh man. It was after Unleashed.
The last one you played, like, and beat yourself was Generations, I feel like.
Yeah, I think it was after Generations. Because, yes, it was after Generations because I don't know how you guys might feel about it, but I thoroughly enjoyed Generations gameplay to the extent that when they backtracked off of it and did Lost World and went to that more palatable style of gameplay, and what would you call that arc? Like, hyper kid-friendly arc?
The boring arc.
Yeah, the Happy Tree Riders arc.
Some people call it the meta era.
Yeah.
Because all the humor was like trying to be meta and was really cringe. Right.
So when it went back to that, I just lost all interest. Yeah. And then I was eventually poisoned by just the fact that, Sonic is a very problematic franchise. And I don't think I ever hated Sonic, but I just was very... It was fun. It was fun to dislike Sonic, or fun to make fun of Sonic.
Yeah.
But it would always hold a special place in my heart because I still have memories, like everyone our age, of like playing Sonic Adventure, and even like games like Shadow the Hedgehog or Sonic 06 when it first came out and you were young and you didn't care about reviews or whether a game was buggy or not. It just blew your mind that Sonic was talking and there was 3 hedgehogs. Right. Yeah.
Live and learn. That's all you really need to say.
Right. That shapes our childhood to this day.
Exactly. I think we talked about, like, every time we play a game that has lyrics in the song, It's like we know where that initial passion and love comes from. It's like, oh man, I think Sonic shaped us to enjoy this.
Absolutely. Every time I pop off at a Souls boss with a sick song, it's the house that Sonic built.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's insane. No, you're totally right though.
Brock's never left, but I've had a return to Sonic. I think watching Sonic beat the ever-loving piss out of those Titans in Sonic Frontiers awakened something deep within me. And all the shame and regret of those years faded away, and I've returned in full force to a fanatic degree. And I hope to share that with you here, because hopefully the series will be called Sonic Purgatory. I have many architectural plans and designs to make it be known that way.
See, I think that's all they ever really needed to do, to be honest with you. I think, like, because you're describing how, like, again, it's called, like, the meta era, right? Which technically started with Colors. Yeah. Because Colors and Generations kind of had that story, like, writing, too. And, like, so much of Sonic's appeal is absolutely its character design and, like, the attitude and stuff.
Yes.
I think
and, like, still over Mario in spades that way. Or, sorry, not Mario, but, like, many games of its era that died and kind of disappeared.
Yeah.
Sonic has lived on, I think, largely due to just the strength of his character design.
Yes, like, literally, like, I could almost argue, like, just his character design alone. Yes. And then, along with, like, the really good parts of, like, Adventure 2, like, being a lot of, like, kids' first experiences of, like, emotional storytelling and stuff like that.
That's true.
Let me be clear. Now, I'm not saying the first experiences available in gaming that are emotional storytelling before I get, like, attacked over it.
Very good.
But a lot of kids who were into Sonic, because he's blue, he's cool looking, played Sonic Adventure 2.
And that's a professional's catch right there. I'm
hey, I got you. I won't get canceled today.
Forward-thinking mindset.
Metal Gear Solid 1 actually took a lot from Sonic the Hedgehog 3 storytelling.
Do you know that Kakarot's transformation into Super Saiyan is a reference to Sonic Adventure 2?
Wow.
There are some people who unironically think that.
It's a reference to Sonic 2.
Yeah, Sonic did it first.
I'm sure, but just need to look up when the manga came out. Well, so technically that actually kind of makes sense, because I think the anime had Super Saiyan, the Frieza saga had Super Saiyan in it after Sonic 2 came out, but the manga had done it before. That I'd have to check that though. I'm not sure, but
sounds right.
They were around the same like year or two.
Yeah.
So I can see a lot of kids being confused.
Yeah. Well.
No, yeah, but honestly, like, the thing I love most about Frontiers is that it feels like they're at least acknowledging what people love about the series in some way, even if it's jank, it's kind of cheap in a lot of ways, but that, and also it's a genuinely fun game. with flaws, but like it's fun, you know. And that's something I can't say about like the last 10 years of games since Generations, not including like Mania and stuff.
Right, they've sucked.
Right, they've been
unfortunate. I mean, even if like, so there are a lot of people who like Sonic Forces, and there are things to like about Sonic Forces because it has that.
Are there?
Well, it still has that element of campiness. Okay, look, the same energy when the Infinite's theme plays is still the same energy. Oh my goodness, it's still the same energy like of the Frontier section. They just executed
right.
poorly.
Well, so you want to know why that is though? Is because the composer was the same.
Really?
I mean, you have Sleeping with Sirens doing the Frontier stuff, but Tomoya Otani is the composer, and he's been doing Sonic songs for like almost the entire franchise's career.
Well, he's
so
awesome.
he does have that stuff, and when he because the guy who did Infinite's theme, who like sung it, worked with him, just like Sleeping with Sirens. But or not, it wasn't Sleeping with Sirens as a whole. It was the lead singer. Whatever.
Is it she?
No, it's a he. But anyway, like, because the composer has always been like the same person, and because then you also have the guy from Crush 40, Jun Sano, who is a sound designer, and he was there since Sonic 3, I think.
Right, yeah,
and he's kind of been in and out, I feel like, in the last like 10 years, but he's still there. He still does stuff.
I'm surprised we haven't had a full return to Crush 40 yet.
The last time Crush 40 did anything like serious,
go
like as a part of the game, I think. He almost just ate shit there.
It did.
I think the last time he was really like active in a game was Sonic and the Black Knight.
Yeah, dang, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, which is their best work, straight up. Like, because I don't know how you feel.
I'm open. I'm willing to, whenever we get around to those games 10, 15 years from now, I'm open to having my mind changed.
Legitimately, like, they put more gasoline effort into Sonic the Black Knight soundtrack than almost any other Sonic game. Because Crush 40 has like 4 original songs in that game, plus like a ton of remixes of old songs and stuff like that. They did an excellent job.
Oh, we're talking just
is incredible.
No, if we're talking just the soundtrack, I think
I'm literally talking about the soundtrack.
Okay, yeah. I don't know why I added the game in there. You just brought up Black Knight, and I felt controversial.
I mean, that's what it does. Black Knight is a controversial one because there's so many things about it that, like, you know, listen, you're free to disagree. That's fine.
Wait, I don't think we should get there yet.
Oh, stop. We can just talk about it.
We're supposed to be discussing Sonic 1 and the finer points.
Sonic 1, I enjoy playing it. I just recently played through it, and I thought it was fun. I really hated a few very specific sections of it, and overall it doesn't have the flow that the other classic Sonic games have. What do you think, Dakota?
I find no familiarity with this game, as of just saying that, you know, we didn't really play Classic until we had a Mega Mix, but that was a few 3D games past. I've just never, and when I was young, I found these, like, hard, because there's no, like, save point, and just not a lot of motivation to get through them. But I appreciate them for what they are. Sonic 1 is, I'm just not, like, necessarily having fun.
Right.
Because, like, things like this, like, I get it's a platformer, but it's supposed to be, like, fast.
Right.
Why am I having to do this?
Don't do that. Oh my god, how?
Stress.
How?
Stress.
Holy shit.
Sorry. Did I mention that I'm a literal Sonic god?
That was incredible. Run right into lava.
I wish I had died. I wish I could see this.
We mentioned this last time we recorded, but since it's lost, I'll say it again. Sonic 1 is guilty of, like, slow-moving platforms a lot, and a lot of moments of waiting.
Yeah.
And then it felt like Sonic 2 is where they kind of hit their stride in level design in terms of just keeping the pace going.
Yeah.
Because that is absolutely a problem. Because, like, you want to go fast, but going fast isn't, like, it's not just the appeal, because, like, exploration was part of these games, too. And it's a very, like, thin line you have to kind of dance to design that, because you don't want it to be, like, too explorative where you're going left, right, up, down, all over the place to find stuff. You want it to be like something that flows well, and that actually takes a ton of skill to design.
I agree. I can see that. I think my issue with it is I just don't find the exploration in a 2D setting very compelling. I don't think I had a lot of interaction with many 2D games at all when we were young.
Yeah.
I think we started with the N64 more or less. Maybe the Game Boy, like Pokemon, but that's different.
Didn't we have a GameCube before we had an N64?
No, we had an N64 way before GameCube.
Really?
Yeah. Don't you remember that one robot game where you blow stuff up?
I remember those games, but weirdly, I only remember playing them later on. My first earliest memories of games are like GameCube stuff, including the classic mix of the Mega Collection of Sonic, which was on the GameCube.
Let's see. I'm trying to remember what we had. Weirdly, we never had Mario 64, which is crazy to me now that I think about it.
Yeah, that is really weird.
We had Cruisin' Exotica.
Yes.
Which is one of my favorites.
Cruisin' Exotica.
Although I think that game's kind of lost to time at this point. I've never heard anyone ever talk about it.
I mean, arcades still have new cruising games actually.
But people talk about Cruisin' USA and other cruising games, but I've never heard anyone talk about Cruisin' Exotica.
Oh, really?
We rented Gex, and then I think we forgot to return it, and we had it for a while. Gex, I have fond memories of.
Yeah.
But it was also did you ever get the sense of those games everything's kind of slightly depressing? I don't know what to
in old N64 platformers or just Gex?
Well, I don't know what to call that feeling.
But they had a vibe.
Is it liminal?
Yeah, liminal is probably a good way to put it. A little bit. And you know what? I think honestly, because again, I believe you what you're saying that we played N64 a lot more before GameCube, but because I think of having the GameCube first, I'm wondering if maybe that affected my vision of N64 stuff, because it would be super weird to go back to a slightly older game when I barely had the concept understood the concept of games in general.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
The game I remember always the most though, and I think we still have it for the N64. That's our friend's house.
Right.
You have it now, don't you?
Yeah, it's actually with me now.
Okay. The game where it's a post-apocalyptic world, and all the women have died, or there's very few women left, and it's a battle tank game. And that's the entirety of the game is battle tanks.
Wait, hold on. I missed that women part. What?
Yeah, that's the.
I know what game you're talking about. I think it's just called Battle Tanks, right?
The lore is that there's very few women left in the world, and that's what everything's fought about.
Dude, that's Lisa.
Spoilers.
No, that's the beginning of the game.
I've owned Lisa for 10 years at this point, and I'm gonna play it. Don't say anything.
That is at the beginning of the game. No, that is Lisa's plot though. That's weird. I have no recollection of this.
I must assume then that they did not invent that plot point. Maybe it's a Mad Max reference or something.
Oh yeah, I could believe that. But I didn't know that game had a story.
Very vague.
Yeah.
But it was weirdly scary and depressing.
But it was a fun game though. That's so weird.
Yes, it's very fun.
It was fun.
Horribly unbalanced. I do know that.
Right.
And then there was that game. Oh, it's actually a fairly famous game, but I had never heard of it, so I'd talk about it before. It's a game where you're playing mechs and you're destroying buildings and stuff.
Battle Construction Corp or something.
No, it's oh no. Oh no.
Can you not move? I was gonna say. Okay. That happens in this though sometimes. Some stuff like that. Sonic 3 actually has really weird collision in this the Sonic Origins port.
Come on, baby. All right, there we go. We'll get there.
Are you talking about the construction game?
It's not construction, although it makes you think it's construction.
It has the yellow symbol.
Yeah, everything's yellow. It looks like construction bots, but you're destroying things.
Right.
I heard that name.
Oh, yeah. Blast Core.
Blast Core.
Right,
yes.
Yep.
Which is apparently a very well loved game.